Science guy. Science guy. Science guy. Science guy.
Alright guys, let's jump right into it. So, which of you guys remember this little dandy? This little deck here. This little bucket of spice. I think the last time we played this, actually I stumbled across it because I was looking for something else. But It's something that's been on my mind for a while. We thought about turning this thing into a white splash. Let me pull it up. Anyways, Bill Nye, the CSI guy, you in chat? Because I had something to show you. I don't know if you guys have been reading my GameWist messages. I've been doing direct messages with you guys. That's why I made that post on the Twitch channel. I've been doing direct messages with most of you guys. Actually, Bill, you haven't responded to mine yet, but there's a messenger system for GameWist. I'm also trying to figure out how to attach a Discord channel to it. Some other cool things. There's actually voting. There's actually a voting system that GameWist has, so I'm going to try to integrate some of those things. But basically, really excited about it. So in a nutshell, what the deck's trying to do is it's kind of like a less aggressive, more controlling sort of modern merfolk. You know what it actually reminds me of? Bloodfish. You guys ever seen Bloodfish? If you guys don't know what deck I'm talking about, that's it's a classic merfolk that was splashing red just for cards like Lightning Bolt, Artifact Destruction out of the sideboard. In our case, it's Vandal Blast, and also it had not sure if I'm going to run Curse Catchers or not. I was considering Spell Pierces for that slot. I also was considering Vapor Snags for that slot. The issue with both of those pieces, what's up, Wumbo? I wanted to play one of my brews tonight because I don't think we have time to do a brew session. I wish I had time to do that instead. They got our order ready. Cool. But in a nutshell, help, I'm in a nutshell. In a nutshell, we're gonna play this tonight in a league. I need to be modified. I already did. I cut the ensnaring bridges. I still think Blood Moon's fine. Let me move. So all the lands that aren't going to get us basic island, I kind of want to move over because we need to think about that. In a Blood Moon deck, you want to have, I mean, we got 7 islands, and then we have 8 fetches for those islands. I think that's fine. Return of the Wizards. Ooh, did I not get another Glen? Ooh. Oh no, I just got a different version. Yeah. Oh, maybe I didn't. Did I not get the third Glen? I wanted to try a third Glen because that's kind of the combo. It is Return of the Wizards. Ah, shoot. Did I not get it? Well, you know what? Let's try it with 2. Maybe 4 was too many of that card. I was going to try a 3-2 split on Sages and Archmages. We were doing 4-3-2. Like, the original build was 4, 3 of this guy, 2 Glens. I bet they're not even that expensive. I'll just buy it, I think. Let me just double check that we have enough tickets to play tonight. I think we do. I think we've been doing pretty well recently. I owe it to you guys, though. I've been playing fewer of my brews and more of the decks you guys have been sending in. We've been doing pretty well recently. Like, we got some packs. We got some QPs. We got some points. It's good. It's a good thing. I got some chests we probably should sell. It's a good thing. As much as I love brewing, I feel like many streams, although maybe some of my best streams, we just burn through tickets, you know? So it's 2 tickets for 1, that's fine. Can't have too many Glen Elendra Archmages. But to those of you who might be new to the stream, this was something we brewed last year. I think this is about a year old now. The Dumbledore's army, lovingly referred to you guys as wizards. And yeah, basically it's Bloodfish meets a different tribe. It's actually more. It is more of a wizard's tribe, and let me explain. So sure, these are merfolks. These are merfolks. These are merfolks. Just as far as other things we could add instead of the third Glen, it could just be like, you could run like, oh gosh, what is it? a fantastic Phantasmal. You could run a... We had a one of Phantasmal image in this thing at one point. I think I still have it somewhere. Yes. The deck is awesome. I like to think it's a less aggressive Merfolk, but it has many more ways to control a board that gets out of hand. It has a lot more controlling aspects, and I think it actually abuses Aethervial in a different way. It feels almost like... You guys ever seen the E-Witness Snapcaster Mage deck with Vial? That was Eternal Command. If you've ever seen Eternal Command, this deck kind of has an Eternal Command feel. So it's kind of like Eternal Command rolled into Bloodfish, if that makes sense. Cobra says, remember this deck, it's what you were brewing when I first followed. I think it'll be worse now that... I think it'll be worse now that... Oh, hang on. Did not add tickets to... Alright, let's jam. And, we got the matching one, so... All Zelda ends well. Alright, so we got the full set of wizards now. So, I still haven't explained the combo. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to do too many things at once. So, speaking of trying to do too many things at once, I think we don't have time for full league, even. But I will play as many as I can. So, the Wombo combo is... it's actually not including the Void Mage. But the Void Mage kind of completes the combo, cements it. So the brew started as we actually wanted to build... What we were trying to brew, Cobra Laserface, if you remember, was we were trying to build blue-blue counterspell in Modern. We actually started with an Esper Dragons deck, if you guys remember... if you remember... do you have enough points? How did we do last time? What was our last league, and how did we do? I think it was the Gifts deck. We played one of our viewers, or one of our subscribers' Gifts decks. Yeah, we went 4-1 with it. This was Slow Bros, Worship. He wanted us to call it Invincible Gifts. It was like Sylvan Caryatid plus Worship, but it was also a Gifts shell. It played really well, actually. Really surprised me, even, because I played a lot of Gifts in my day. And it did really, really well. I think it's been a while since one of my Gifts lists 4-1'd. Let's play some wizards, though. But yeah, the combo is, for those of you who don't know, that it is a combo. It's Sage of Fables. This is when each other wizard you control enters the battlefield with additional 1/1 counter on it. To remove a 1/1 counter, that's not as important, but it's useful for grinds. Anyway, because, what would you rather, have a card or a 1/1 counter on a creature? It depends on the board state. You can, crack in for an extra damage and then draw a card. Or if they're going to kill one of your creatures, you draw a card in response. Okay, so then it usually finishes with Master Waves, but in the unfair matches, your Ad Nauseams, your Scape Shifts, etc., you go and get Glen, or you just cast Glen, or Violin Glen. And Glen plus Sage can do some really nutty things. Okay, so Glen, if you remember Glendalundra Archmage, she has Persist. Sage says, each other wizard you control... Oh, she's a wizard. Okay. Okay, so she's going to enter with a 1/1 counter, right? Okay, so we kind of got the whole Malira, Anafenza, Kitchen Finks kind of thing going on, right? Except with blue creatures, with wizards. Interesting, right? So cool. Okay, so we have, incremental negates, right? Basically, you pay a blue mana, the Glen gets sacrificed, it comes back, but it doesn't have the persist, it doesn't have the -1/-1 counter, it's canceled out with the +1/+1 counter. What do you think about the new Mimic? Link it in chat. Maybe that could be useful. Oh, she said something sooner before I joined the league. Which Mimic? In Kaladesh? And so basically you have incremental negates. It's not infinite negates. It's as many negates as you can pay for. And that's still pretty good. That's pretty good. That's not bad. I guess I will keep this. Arguably, you could try to mulligan this. This just looks like, Merfolk to me, but some hands are going to look like that. You could mulligan this trying to look for an Aether Vial, because the Aether Vial hands are the strongest with this deck. I'm not saying this is bad. This curves out great. I mean, this goes turn 2 Harbinger, turn 3 Sage, turn 4 Master, or turn 2, turn 3 Harbinger, turn 4 Master. I'm actually going to keep it, because something I do too often with this deck is I try to mulligan until I find the Aether Vial. Now, don't get me wrong, Aether Vial is going to be our most busted draws, and that's where the deck really feels a bit unfair. Now, this Steam Vents totally is going to give away that we've got Blood Moon, probably. Speaking of escape ships, oh, we drew the vial, but too late. Yeah, try again, Wumbo. We can take a look. Oh, Metallic Mimic for Wizard? That is an interesting idea. Now, unfortunately, we have the side of our deck that's good against Fair. Like, we have Harbingers and Master, which is good for racing. Not good if our opponent's on Titan Shift. Not so good if he's on Titan Shift. But we'll see. There's merit to just casting the Sage of Fables, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a second Vial online, and I'm just going to put a Harbinger into play. Oops. I'm just going to put a Harbinger of the Tides into play. Because we really got to get a move on here. Because I may be vialing in another... I mean, we need to save one of these Harbingers for if he's just going to cheaty face and, you know, a Titan into play. The problem with that is it only does so much. We're going to go up on these. The sweet spot for our vials in this deck is actually 2 and 4 are the sweet spots. There's a Glen, that's a great draw if we can get to it in time. We have to get to it in time. We're not dead. That's a great draw. Glen interacts with what the opponent's doing outside of Hardcast Titan, but Hardcast Titan, you know, he might be able to. Issue with Valakut is Master Waves has pro red. That doesn't mean he has protection from Valakut. Valakut is a colorless land. It's a colorless, you know, well, lands don't have color. It's a land that happens to be, you know, have a lightning bolt effect. It, you know, it kind of feels that way, but it's not exactly, you know, Master would still die to a Valakut trigger. I think we're just going to cast Sage of Fables. That might be wrong. Because this vial's going to go to 3. This vial is going to go up to 3 for us anyway. Why don't we pretend that we have something here? Make it play around a Spell Pierce or something, you know? Is he missing land drops? That's great for us if he is. That is best case scenario. Actually, I think we've just gone from probably losing to probably winning. Now, we may want to keep this second vial on too. Ooh, another Master? Wow. Reason being... Yeah, he's a ramp deck that's not ramping. That's not good for the opponent. Reason being is we still want to be able to have a cheap Harbinger. Now, Harbinger is interesting. We can pay forward to flash this guy, but it's also nice to just have him off the vial. And honestly, I like the sweet spot for this deck is a vial on 2 and a vial on 3. Really is. So we're gonna flash in. We're gonna vial in this Sage. Now, you could argue that we're supposed to vial in the Harbinger now, because we're just trying to race. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could argue that I'm supposed to put this Harbinger in now, and then that way we get to crack in, and then we can Master. Still, I don't want to just get Breach Emrakul, you know? I'd at least want to put it back into his hand, then we can sacrifice some other permanents, you know? Well, no, you wouldn't want to put it back in his hand, sacrificed anyway. This is tough. You know what? We're racing. We're racing. We're just going for it. We're hoping. And plus, it's going to get the counter from the Sage, which is nice. Actually, you know what? I'm going to draw. I think hitting that fourth land is... Ooh, or another land is better. I think we're still going to keep this guy on 2. Or we're going up to 4, obviously, on this guy. Now, remind me next turn to turn off all the yields on both of these vials. Once you've set them to what you need, you just turn them off. Now, here's an awkward stage. We just drew Sage. Now, we have Sage Glen combo now. I don't want to throw that away. I want to react to what he does. So basically, if he were to cast any non-creature spell, we're going to flash in Glen, and then we have the Sage plus Glen wombo combo. Uh-oh. What are you doing? I don't think so. We've basically got 3 negates. I mean, unless he has, like, a bunch of... He might have a bunch. Now, if he had another bolt, that was where he needed to spend it. While the Glen was... That's kind of the best-kept secret of the deck, I guess. It's not a huge secret. That's the spot where you can break the combo. So we have the Sage Glen combo online against Scapeship. This is really good. This is really good for us. We've got 2 more negates, basically. So you kind of have to have 2 removal spells. Or you have to, like, an Abrupt Decay. Like, an Abrupt Decay will break it, but... It's Abrupt Decay. That's why we have Spellskite out of the board. One of the reasons. We got Spellskite for, you know, bolts, too. How sweet is this, guys? You guys asleep or something? Freaking Wizard combo in Modern. Come on! You guys love this deck. I thought this would be a hit. I was trying to bust out some of our classics tonight. We got freaking Ghostbusters playing in the background. Nothing. You guys are just... Alright. I tried. Try to be entertaining. I tried. I think this is still a great combo that's unexplored. I think the opponent's slowly realizing that this is a combo that we can just keep negating his spells as much as we want. Now, we took a really safe route. I mean, if this is a fair opponent, of course I would have been slamming Masters of Waves, you know. Remind me to turn off these vials. Even though we got a bunch of 4s in my hand, I don't think I want to take this up, because there are a lot of 2s in our deck. I think I'm going to do no, always yield. And do it in that order, otherwise Moto is kind of weird. You want to say no first, then you say... oh, we've already got to stop auto yield. Be good. Do we even need a 3rd Aether Vial? Do we even need a 3rd one? I want to have as much blue mana up as possible, because he's got a full grip over there. And what's neat is while you got this going on, they're attacking. They're on-board counterspells. As much as I hate to admit it, Modern really is a heavily creature-based format. Is this Breach? I don't think so, buddy. Now that we have double Glen, I mean, you could argue that we're supposed to have more Glens than we are supposed to have Sages, because once you put a second Glen on the table, it's almost impossible for the opponent to break it. And I'd rather do it with this one, because this one's attacking. I'd rather get the 2 damage in. We have so many negates. I mean, it's just absurd. But yeah, the deck brewing concept, if you remember Cobra Laserface, we started with an Esper Dragons, and we brewed around a different card. We were brewing around Salumgar's... it's the 2-drop, counter, blue. Salumgar's, Scorn. Now, sure, that's build. I mean, like Logic Knot or Slumgar Scorn. They're all ways to have a blue counterspell in Modern, but they're not as good. There's drawbacks. This one has really heavy building restrictions. Logic Knot does too. You got to have a lot of fetches. You got to have arguably some delve spells too. Mick says deck's definitely interesting. Can't wait to see more games. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to Blood Moon this guy. No doubt about it. He didn't even see that side of our deck. We didn't see a tutor. This is the glue to the deck. If you're wondering how the hell does this thing come together, it's this card. We run 3, and we don't run it to cast it. Well, okay, you might cast it to save a Mutavault. That's another story because it's a sliver. Don't mind that. This card is here for consistency. It's here so we can tutor up the Venser, the Sower. I mean, hell, we could steal Primetime before it gets to attack. This stays in. These stay in. Master's out. Maybe you run 1 just to close out a game more quickly, but that's kind of a little too fair. I think we're supposed to trim on... well, Curse Catcher's relevant too. What's not so great? I like Vendilion Click. We want these tools. We don't need Is It Staticaster. I kind of want Kira, right? We want Kira. What, Sun Droplet, Spellskite? What do you think? What do you guys think? These are all interesting ideas. I don't think I want Trinket Mage because I'm not bringing in these pieces. Don't need Blast. Tidebinder Mage is interesting. You can flash in a Tidebinder Mage and that'll lock down a Primetime too. Or this will lock down Bailouts if he's bringing in Bailouts. Like, these are cards we should be considering. Yes, Volcanic Fallout would kill everything Murder Face. But yes, people aren't playing it, thankfully. So I don't think Harbinger's a great answer because Harbinger means the Titan already attacked us. I'd rather just flash in or vial in a Tidebinder Mage and put it back into their hand. I think we're actually cutting the Harbingers because with the Harbingers coming down, bad things already happened to us. Let's run Kira. 2 Spellskites because he's going to bring in more removal and a Tidebinder Mage. And let's jam. Then we also brought in 2 Blood Moons that takes up space. We had 3 Blood Moons in the original build. I think I've slimmed it down. Did we slim down its Blood Moons overall? Yeah, we're down to 3. No, 2. This is a great hand. You just snap this one off. Sometimes you just snap it off, you know? Sometimes the hand really is that good. Do you want to go turn on Curse Catcher? Now we want to get the Vial on the table, I think. I think I want to go Vial first. Get that going. And who knows, maybe he, like, destroys this and then we get to moon this guy. But yeah, it's kind of like Bloodfish meets an Infinite Persist combo. You know? We could have Curse Catched that. Maybe he'll let us Curse Catch something else. Ooh, Vendilion Click. Okay. Kind of don't want him to see the Blood Moon coming to the point where I'd almost be interested in taking the damage off it. That's probably not correct. You're probably still supposed to play this tapped, and this is a nice spot to do so. Yeah, Snap, we're playing Wizards. We're up a game against Titan Shift. Which is sweet. There's the Valakut. So here's a question for you. Are we supposed to just slam the moon, or are we supposed to Vendilion Click? Wish this Vial was on 3 right here, so we could do both. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Going to 18 is relevant in this matchup. Otherwise, I think I would pop off the Scalding Tarn. So are we clicking, or are we mooning? Who likes moon? If I was going to moon, maybe I should have, because he's only got 1 land open here. If I mooned, I may have been able to catch him off guard with the Curse Catcher. Just slam the moon. Okay. If this wasn't Escape, or Titan Shift, I should say, I would just crack this. So I'll have 1 green source. That was inevitable thanks to the Sakura. Is this a breach? Oh, Hardcast Search. You know what's this thing is we're not going to have the Glen on the table in time, right? Well, no, we will. We can get Glen on the table, but we can't use her immediately. We can Vial the Vendilion Click and we could Hardcast the Glen. But it's not going to be soon enough. We're going to be 1 mana short of being able to use the Glen's ability. I still think I'm supposed to cast it. Oops says you should have attacked first, block maybe fetch a mountain. I doubt he would, but that's fair. I think we'll just cast Glen and hope for the best with this Vendilion Click. We might get lucky. He might not have redundant, you know, kill you cards. Oh. So here's a good question. Do you let these go? They both wreck what I'm doing. You can make the argument that I'm supposed to take one, but we're gonna have to rebuild no matter what. He's gonna get to anger our board here no matter what, unless he thinks I'm holding more creatures, which we know we're not. I don't really want to draw him to escape shift, etc. But then again, I don't know if we can really handle double board sweeper. Rough. No, anger's great against us because we are a persist deck. Our late game involves persisting. I think it might be correct to take an anger, although that just means we're drawing him sooner to him killing us, but I don't think we can handle double anger. Don't think so. So it may have been an overextension to play the Glen. I mean, maybe anger should have been on my radar. You know? Well, Titan doesn't kill us immediately. We'll just have to draw more threats. We can do that. Deck's got a lot of threats. I'd like some Blood Moon redundancy. Like I'd like to draw a tutor for Magus of the Moon. Oh, another Glen. There you go. See, we were all worried. Didn't we seem worried? Not worried anymore. We have a threat. Prime time? Okay. Unfortunately, don't have my Void Mage. Void Mage is pretty important to this matchup. Like, against traditional Scape Shift, you're good just with Archmage. Against this deck, you also want to see a Void Mage Prodigy. So he's looking to just remove our Blood Moon. Now, we could hit a Wizard Tutor. If we hit a Wizard Tutor, we can just take the Prime Time. That's not an impossibility for us. Oh, don't get me wrong, his clock is much, much, much better than ours. We're going to need to draw a Wizard Tutor or Venser or something. Venser buys us a little time. This Sudden Shock? Oof. He's got all the tech. Gosh, he saw Double Anger, Sudden Shock. I mean, we saw Singleton Blood Moon. It's not bad. But we did just what I feared, which was draw him to the Prime Time by Vendilion clicking away the second Anger. And it's relevant. Every time he gets to attack with this Titan, he's going to be drawing more mana out of the deck. Can we hit? We have a couple turns. Now he's got some burn reach, so I really can't take even one more hit from Titan. Oof. It's okay, we took game 1. There's going to be a game 3. That's the thing, Opus, is like, we still haven't solidified where we want the mana in this deck, because it doesn't always work on 22, but a lot of the times 23 seems too much. Not that I'm advocating that we should, like, have an, we're on a 61, but what is it? I mean, 23 always seems to flood out on Magic Online, but 22 is never enough. We really can't handle even one more attack from this guy. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Nope. Yeah, Wizard Tutor would be gas here. Wizard Tutor, steal his Prime Time, kill him with his own Prime Time. We're dead to Sudden Shock now. A second Sudden Shock. Hope it doesn't come to that. We're also dead to multiple Lightning Bolts. We're not dead to the first one, because we can Glen, but we're going to 1. He would have already killed us if he had. Prodigy, but too late. Prodigy would have countered the prime time. Okay. He may have already had artifact / enchantment removal in. I think we boarded correctly. Like, Tidebinder would have locked down the Titan. And now we know about the Sudden Shocks. Sudden Shock makes me... Oh, I still want Spellskite, because the way he's going to answer Moon is probably redirectable with Spellskite. You usually see Nature's Claim. Not always, but I don't think we change a thing. I think this is fine. We're on the play now. Maybe we could get away with Masters, more Masters, but I don't think we're supposed to. It's a pretty fast deck we're up against. And these are all relatively good in the matchup. Prodigy would be nuts. I think we just need to draw Prodigy, actually, against this archetype. Against Scapeshift, you're good with a Glen, but against this opponent, we want... This is a greedy keep if we keep this. But it's got Moon and Prodigy. But it is a greedy keep, because it's got the one of Mountain, which is rough. But, I mean, this could just as well be the Cavern of Souls, you know? We shouldn't even necessarily... You know, this could also just be the Mutavault. Like, this could be... How do we... Like, this could be any one of these 7, you know? As far as I'm concerned with the Blood Moon. Granted, the Steam Vents would be slightly better, because at least we could activate the Prodigy. I think so too, Dragon. I think it's greedy, but I think we're going to keep it. I mean, we've got an active Curse Catcher. We do need to draw some more lands, though, to make this Aether Mage work. Because you want to cycle it, you don't want to flash it in. Or with the Vial. Silver Girl, there you go. I think we'll do the second Vial, get those going, get those going. And it might be correct to Curse Catch this, just slow his roll. Best we can. I think I'll do that. It's pretty aggressive on my part, considering we could fling this Curse Catcher with the Prodigy, but if we don't draw 2 blue sources, we're not going to anyways, kind of my thought process there. So, the fact that we're not ready to... Oh, there's a Scalding Tarn. So there's a Tarn. So we're halfway there to a Prodigy counter. I think it's just Scalding Tarn go. There's a couple cards that I would want to Silvergill draw now for. Why don't we thin first? Why don't we thin? And then Silvergill draw now? There's a couple of cards in the deck, like, I'd be interested in drawing off Silvergill now. Glen was not one of them. That's okay. But Glen's a great draw. I mean, I can't complain. So we're really hoping for one more blue source, and then we're really cooking with games. Search. Okay. Oh, we really slowed his roll by hitting that Farseek, didn't we? Excellent. So we're definitely going up on both of these. We always joke that this deck would have like an insane matchup against Slivers. There's another Prodigy. Okay. Rough. We don't have much going on. And it's not like you have to cycle it from your hand in order to get the tutor. Speaking of which, if we do draw another land, what are we tutoring? Bolt? That's fine. We're going to leave this vial on too, because I want to be able to put in my other Prodigy. Having redundant Prodigies is relevant. It's fine. I think we're actually going to be okay. This draw turned out to be really good. It's only lacking 1 blue mana. I think just 1 blue mana is going to do. All right, here's our signature card, Prodigy. So this one's going to go up. See how I mouse over and then Moto highlights which Aether Vial it's referring to? That's kind of neat. So we get to say yes, and then we're going to say always no to this one. There's the Sower. All right, now we can steal a Titan. Sweet. That is sweet. I don't want to overcommit on these Prodigies. We got hammered by freaking... I mean, I'd love to draw another land just to slam Blood Moon, too. Don't get me wrong. Like, we got a lot of tools. We may have kept a really greedy opener because it was a one-lander. mountain nonetheless. So we'll see. We'll see. Hardcast search. You got it. I don't think I'm supposed to Glen that, but maybe. Now, he might have the sudden shock in his hand, which is rough, but... You know what? I don't think I'm going to put in the other Prodigy, should I? I'm going to say no on this one. I actually think I'm not supposed to. So we like the vials where they are. Let's go ahead and do no. And now we can do always. That's going to pass on both vials. Okay, so we've got Blood Moon. Now again, we could be screwed, but the fact that we have the Sower Temptation off the vial makes me feel as though we're safe to go for Moon. Especially if he taps out to try and kill something here. Then again, we have Void Mage Prodigy counter. Like maybe I don't even need to play the Moon and just sit on this counter spell. What do you guys think? We could even sacrifice the Aether Mage. Have I thought about the deck in Shackles? Yes, I have. Alright, so there goes the Glen. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. You know what? I'm thinking that I just want to sit on our blue counterspell. I actually think that might be... I mean, is that stronger than Slam the Moon? How do we lose here? Him breaching an Emrakul, right? But we have the answer to that already. We have a Sower. I guess if he has Breach, Emrakul, plus a way to remove Sower, we lose. If he has, like, Breach, Emrakul, Land Drop, Lightning Bolt, Sower, we lose. It's so tempting to just go for the Blood Moon now. But it might not be correct. You know? Yeah, Shackles has come up. This is kind of our version of Shackles right here. The tutorable Shackles. The Sower. It might just be correct to sit on the counterspell, guys. You know? Hell, I could even Wizard Cycle the Aether Mage, vial in something relevant. Wait for when you have counter protection. Yeah, I think we're just gonna... I think I get to show you a really cool side of the deck. We have 3 mana open. I have Aether Mage. I could Aether Mage into any 4-drop or 2-drop. So I could have Aether Mage. I can Aether Mage in response, because Wizard Cycling is instant. It's a form of cycling. So there's an anger. Angry, are we? I think I Glen this. But, I mean, then again, I don't really have to. All it's doing is saving the Prodigy. But he's only got 2 other mana going on here. I think fine. Trade the Glen for this anger. I think I'm okay with that. Slow and steady. Do you play the other Prodigy into play? Or, I mean, again, we're worried about angers. Actually, I think we do get him into play. I don't think it's an overcommitment because we have Aether Mage next turn. Into whatever we want. I mean, we might even want to go up on this vial now that we have Aether Mage online, because I might want to grab a Vendilion Click instead, or I might want to go Magus of the Moon. We could instant speed Moon this guy, by the way. I can show you guys how that works. It's kind of neat. So I've hit my put the auto yields back. So we're going to say no. And we're going to go up, actually. So... And that might be a mistake, because we had a lot of 2-drops to draw, but we'll see. Ooh, yeah. Alright. Swing for 4. So do you think we're supposed to instant speed Blood Moon this guy? Because I can. We can either mage up, or I could either mage up a Glen. We could either mage up Glen Alundra, and then Glen Alundra mage, Archmage, and then we have an island. I think we want to see what he does first. Because if he goes to Scape Shift... Yeah. End of turn, maybe? let's Wizard Cycle. Everybody always takes a double take when I play this card. But it's so cool. You might be sitting there like, oh, well, we've only got access to 4 mana. No, we don't. We've got access to 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. If you want to think of Vial that way. This deck definitely curves a lot higher than your typical fish. Or we have a lot of higher curve pieces. Now, we can't piece together, with this one tutor, we can't piece together the full combo, but maybe we can piece together something else that's powerful. Or just get a Glen. I mean, the first one was good. We actually have more time to stream than I thought. Okay, so do you want a Magus of the Moon him? Yeah, we got some options. We can go for Glen. Any 4 or 3 drop is good here. Could even go Master of Waves. That's the greedy one, but we would be putting him dead. But he's not going to have good removal for a Master of Waves. We could just try to go... I mean, that's why we left a 1 of Master Waves in the deck. We could just go for kill him. Try to kill him. I think it's the greediest play. I think the Magus of the Moon is stronger, potentially. He doesn't have a second green source yet, and there's no Search for Tomorrow or anything on the stack. I think the Magus of the Moon is spicier. But you could argue that Master Waves is great here, because if he doesn't have double removal spell, he's dead, right? Go for Master. Let's do the math. Hang on. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 damage, no matter what. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Devotion, 5 Devotion. If he were to kill one of the Prodigies, how much damage are we losing? We're losing 6 damage next turn. But we're going to still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 damage if he kills one of the Prodigies in response. So we don't have lethal if he does have a removal spell, but if he doesn't have a removal spell, Master is lethal. So I think for that regard, due to that, and we've already seen several removal spells out of the opponent, we're going to go for the Master. It's greedy, yes. Exactly, right. And his removal's not going to answer this Master. I mean, you definitely always want to leave one Master in because you can just tutor it up, you know, and steal a game. I don't think I'll ever play the list without at least one Master in. But, this would be where you spend your Lightning Bolt if you got it, friend. And this is one of those spots where we kind of wish this Blood Moon was a second Magus of the Moon, you know? Because we could have flashed it in off the Vial. I like having a split. I mean, maybe we're supposed to have more Maguses than we do Moons, you know? I don't know. I mean, this has higher upside. This has the upside of we win the game if he doesn't have a removal spell. Summoner's Pact. Okay. Okay, so he's going to breach. So this is an interesting play. So he does get to activate the Valakut for how many triggers? If he searches up second Valakut, let's see, 1, 2, 3. He's only got 4 mountains, though. So he can't grab the second Valakut, but he does get 2 triggers here. He does get to kill Master of Waves and a Void Mage. Let's see if he sees that he can target the Master. Yeah, it's 2 triggers. But we get to Sower the Prime Time, which is relevant. Like, Sower Prime Time, Blood Moon him next turn, it's fine. Oh, he doesn't see it. Okay. But, I mean, it's not going to be a very powerful Master, don't get me wrong. It's going to be kind of on the shrimpy side. Or maybe he just wants to get rid of these instead. You know. That's fair. I mean, it's a good play on his part. I think we still are going to be okay. There's a Vendilion click to add to our job security here. So moon him, take his prime time so we can attack. Oh wow, he's had enough even with just the moon. He didn't let us steal his prime time! Guys, we didn't get to really enjoy the fun that is the one of Sower. Okay, well, alright. Oh, he can't pay for Pact. Oh, true. Yeah, he would have already had to have the second green source in. Yeah, the Blood Moon one. Okay. Hey, that's one of the... I mean, Blood Moon sometimes instantly wins. It's not just, oh, well, now I can't play my spells. I guess I'll try to grind this out. And sometimes they die to Pact. Sometimes. That was excellent. Oh, Bill Nye, the CSI guy. Are you in here? I was going to show you your animation that I made. I don't see you in here, though, friend. He's not here. Okay. Another time. Another time. I made his command. Oh, I don't know about this hand. This could turn into something good. It's a little land heavy, though. I think if it was one less land, one more creature, it'd be like a super sweet hand. Also going to take a lot of pain off our mana base this game. Just thinking about that as well. Which is rough. Vile go, I guess. Get that thing going. Plenty of opponents don't put us on Bloodfish till I show the red splash. So we could go like Island, Strand. Not bother with these. Yes, Temple Garden. Oh, is this bird? Noble? Okay. Will I upload the stream? Yeah, of course. I always do, Opus. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be in here. Ooh, Master. Good, since this looks to be a fair matchup. Yeah. I think I'm still going to go Flooded Strand. I mean, Blood Moon's a lot worse with a Noble Hierarch on the table. Don't think that's what we're searching for anymore. I wonder what we're going to search for. I guess I kind of want to see a little bit more of what he's up to before we make that decision. Alright, voice. I actually don't cast spells during my opponent's turn. I flash, flash them in with Curse Catcher or Wizard Cycle them and then Bile them in. We don't do... Oh yeah, Moon's not going to work here at all. He's just green-white. Maybe splashing another color, maybe not. Yeah, sounds good. Oops. Just go ahead and crack this. We're not going to Blood Moon this guy. So let's just go ahead and grab the second Steam Vent so it's not awkward later on. Gonna need to draw some more relevant cards. Curse Catcher, not so relevant. I think I'm gonna play the Curse Catcher instead of Wizard Cycling. But it might be correct for me to Wizard Cycle this turn and then get something to steal the voice, maybe, or... I wish we had the Staticaster in the main. It'd be nuts right now. Kill both of these. It'd take a couple turns, but it'd still be good. Knight. I could see wanting the Knight. That's kind of this big to do. Taking voice is relevant because then we can block and then we get a token. Taking Knight is relevant. I'm trying to think what we're going to tutor up. Oh, there's a Master. So maybe we're just going to go wide. I guess whatever we Vidalcan... I mean, we could, like, search his hand for a path. That might be the correct play. Like, Wizard Cycle Vidalcan either mage during his draw step and then Vidalian click him. Grab a path to exile out of his hand and then we can Master. Like, Vile will go to 4, I can Master, and then I can Master again. Okay, that's the plan. What do you guys think? Well, let's look at the list real quick. There might be something better to get. We have a main deck Vendilion Click right now. The only other play that makes sense to me is Sower, you know? Or just more Masters, just try to overload him, but... I like the Vendilion Click because that's 2 Devotion. If there's no path, if there is path, then we just take a path and then we get to Master, and probably beat his board. I guess I am liking these Curse Catchers. These were like Spell Pierces or Vapor Snags. I am liking these. It's going to give us 2 more Devotion. But that's a decision we'll make during his draw step. Don't have to make that decision yet. So we're going to cycle here during his draw. Because I'm pretty sure it's... Pretty sure we want. What's neat is none of this is affected by Voice of Resurgence. I'm not casting spells. You know? So it's kind of nice that we're not punished by this. I'm going to target the opponent. You got a path over there, friend? He's got a Chord. He's got a Company. It's probably a Collected Company. Okay. Oh, you know what? I should have maybe gone for double Curse Catcher counter on this. Yes, I should have. Wow, that's a good hit. And a Spell Queller. Oof. Yeah, I should have sacrificed both. Well, but then again, there's a path. But this is a lot, you know, between the knights. Okay, so his hand is another Spell Queller. That's relevant. Well, no, it's not. He won't have enough mana to Spell Queller Master. Next turn, we just go Master. Get them underneath the Spell Queller. Hope that our board's enough to combat what he's doing. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 Devotion. The only thing we don't know is what he just drew. Maybe he just hit something that he's committing to the board. Guess he's just growing his knights. No attacks. That's very timid. Thought Control says actually he does have enough knight if he doesn't swing with knight. Oh, if he uses knight to activate. You are right. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. You're absolutely correct. So he does have the ability to take down a master. We're never going to have a turn where we get to play the master, are we? The second master. Yeah, he does have knight. Tap, tap, knight a land. Yep. That is disappointing. Thanks for pointing that out to me, Thought Control. I guess we're just playing a slower, grindier... That sucks. We'll have to vial them out. He might just be putting it into play. Just to have flyers. Maybe this will be a good thing that we're waiting on the masters. Like, the first master is just so we don't die, you know? The second master... The second master, maybe we're going to hold off until we get a little more devotion. Yeah, he's just putting it in play. Now we don't have that restriction anymore. If we wanted to just slam the second one. This deck needs a Gavany Township. That's what this thing needs. It's just going to swing knights. Just going to swing one knight? There you go. He's getting him with the Quellers. I think that's fair. I think I do want to chump with his spirit. I mean, we just hope he didn't draw Path. I think that's a reasonable... I mean, the other thing you could do is you could Quadra block the Knight. Well, you might as well just... No, you would Quadra block it. You could Quadra block the Knight. Because he can make Knight grow... No, he can make Knight grow twice, excuse me. He's got Knight and then a Windswept, so we'll just jump. We'll take 2 off this Queller. This one's going up. Ooh, there's a Glen. Glen's good. It'll counter the companies and the paths. Which is nice. I still don't have great attacks though, do I? We have a little bit of time. I think we really have to get a good payoff on this second Master Waves to win this. So every devotion's going to count. Yeah, now the Knights are 8s. So he does have a red splash. I could see him on Blood Moon. Yeah, he's got enough mana dorks to pull it off. He's probably got Blood Moon in his deck. Is he knighting for a fetch? Ooh. He does have Gavany. That's bad news, Bears. I think we just lost. I think with that we are dead, unfortunately. Well, we had a good combo matchup. Now we just need to do our best to shore up the creature matchups. Maybe our opener was a little sketchy. It's not like we're not drawing things that are good in the creature match either. Like, we've seen 2 Masters. So he's 4-color. Interesting. That's funny, so... I'm actually not going to put him on as much of a Blood Moon deck. I think we definitely are bringing in our moons. There's enough going on here that I think we can maybe get him. I mean, we saw some basics, we see some dorks. But we see enough going on that I think it's relevant. You might even want to Glen just block one of these Quellers. I think I'll do that. Because we get two flying blocks with her. And we're not going down on Devotion to do so. So it's like Elemental block here. Glen block. Just like, if we steal a Knight, does it start to go in our favor? Probably not because of the Gavany. I mean, I have a main deck Magus of the Moon. But that's kind of like a Band-Aid. It's not, you know, even if we found the Magus or we found a tutor for the Magus, it's just a Band-Aid. It's not going to... What if the blue splash is also for... oh, Kessig. Alright. We definitely want to moon the crap out of this guy. Got a lot of... I mean, like, we saw a bunch of basics and some dorks, but he's also got several pretty greedy bullets we could catch him on. But I think he's got a lot of inevitability, you know, unfortunately for us. I mean, it may be, you know, when we get our combo going, it may be unlimited, you know, counters or negates, but it's not going to stop on Knight of the Reliquary from doing what it's doing. We'll have to Tidebinder it or steal it. I just noticed in the chat this guy's a 4-0. Our opponent. So maybe he's got a pretty spicy... Got some other spicy things going on. Yeah, so the trample here is going to make it lethal. If I had a way to borrow this Knight, we could win. Oh, these would have been good if we'd seen them a little earlier. Sage of Fables is kind of our anthem effect. Void Mage Prodigy is our counterspell effect. Glenn's not as strong in this matchup. I still want some number of them because we could assemble some pretty nice things. I think it's Vencers in 2 Glenn come out. Maybe Explosives in. Maybe if we want to find said Explosives, I want to bring this in too. On the Knights, lock down a Knight. Staticaster for sure. And that's it. Oh, Graph Diggers for Company. Been good, Loose Love. It's been a while. How's the loose wallet? I'm just kidding. How's the loose love? How goes it? I think we do want to try to moon this guy. Let's take the Vendilion Click out. Let's take the Curse Catchers out. And maybe run Kira. I could see Kira. I could see Relic for also fighting Knight. Like, okay, so Grafdigger's Cage fights Coco, but Relic fights Knight. What about Metallic Mimic? Sage of Fables gives us the infinite Glendalandra. Ben, that's the second time it's come up tonight. So, Sage of Fables plus Glendalandra Archmage gives you as many negates as you can pay for. You've been sick? That's awful, Loose Love Kid. Oh, Loose Love, check it out. We have subs now. Isn't that neat? That's something you missed while you're gone. Also, the stream's a little more James Bondy themed. I even have a James Bond song playing. Spellskite's good against Knight 2, says Blue Magic Guy. How? What makes you say that? If you can back it up, I'm with you. I'll definitely hear you out. I don't see it, but talk to me. Yeah, you can sub to the channel now. I think we'll leave in all our tutors. We'll probably set this Explosives to 2, right? So it's not what you think. It's not a Twitch subscription. It's called GameWisp. So basically, this is an app that lets me manage all of the subscribers. So you get a brew session with me, custom bot command. I add you to my friend lists. I'm actually going to add Steam to this as well. A couple people asked if they'd like me to add my Steam name, so I'll do that. So if you subscribe, I'll also put you on Steam so we can play Steam games together too. Boomai says, run it stops his combo and also changes the target of Wolf Run. I do have a link. It's at the bottom of the sub command. It's this one right here. Yeah, it's GameWist.com, channel BrewSpy. I can't keep this. I could maybe keep this, but it's not good. Well, okay, it has Void Mage Sage. Just missing Glenn. It has Void Mage Sage. This hand just feels a little too fair, though. But he kept a 7. I probably was supposed to bottom that, actually. There's some other features, Loose Love, I'm looking to add. I'm looking to add Discord. Yeah, I'm looking to add Discord. We're probably going to have sub-only voting happen, because I used to love doing lots of polls and voting on the stream, but I think it'd be kind of neat if we did it sometimes for certain things, maybe certain, I want to use the word more important, but things that are relevant to the subs, and only the subs. I'd like to do some voting, and GameWisp has a way to do that too. So definitely couldn't say enough cool things about it. Speaking of cool, Coolius, I took a look at your submission, man. I'm excited. Yeah, I've already got it in. I don't want to spoil it though. I don't want to spoil it. We'll save it for. I only have a little bit less than an hour to stream, Coolius, so. I don't think it's going to happen tonight, but really appreciate you subbing, man. But yeah, Coolius, you came at the perfect time. So I'm looking to add Discord. I'm looking to add sub-only voting. I might even add a different tier of subscription. I'm thinking of adding the Discord though to the bottom, to the most basic sub. I'm thinking of adding Discord, and I'm thinking of adding to this one the Twitch sub-priced one. Oh, jeez, you got that Knight under my Prodigy. Shoot. Okay, there's a Staticaster. Okay, so we Staticast the bird. Sets him back a little bit. You know, I could get the knight off the table by attacking here. We could attack. He blocks, and then we get to Staticast the knight. Is there a schedule? I have a new streaming schedule up. Are you asking if there's a schedule for when I'm going to do the decks specifically? No. But if you look at the bottom, I've got my new schedule updated, although I'm off schedule tonight. I don't think it'll block. He certainly knows what he's doing. I mean, the opponent we saw, he was, I mean, this will mitigate. Staticaster staying on the table will mitigate some of the damage that we'll be taking from Gavany. You know, because when they try to go wide with all the dorks, at least we get to pick them off. Pick off the small ones. Take off some of that incremental advantage. Gosh, we really want to moon this guy. Am I supposed to take a turn off, like searching for, well, no, in response to moon, though, he can knight for a basic planes. Yeah, we're playing the Dumbledore's Army. Kind of a throwback to a deck we built about a year ago, but I made some changes. The only thing I'm really wishing we had was, although some people keep telling me we need to try out this, the metallic, what is it, Metallic Mimic? I guess Metallic Mimic and name Wizard. This does replicate the Sage of Fables ability, though. This does turn on the persist combo. I didn't even think about that. It doesn't have the draw, but that doesn't matter. This is sweet. That's not as sweet. This is sweet. I didn't think about that. That gives us more enablers for this deck, so maybe it's relevant that we're brewing it again. Oh, Collected Company fudge. It's maybe very relevant. Let me open a new copy. That's what you guys were trying to tell me earlier, I'm sure. Yeah, it gives Glenn a free reset as well. That gives us more enablers. So we could have the combo more online more easily. Mimic could also name Elemental. Oh, he has a Staticaster. Well, that's a problem. That's a pretty good hit for our opponent. I mean, we don't scoop to Staticaster, but it's going to be rough. Sage of Fables is going to help, though. It'll pump up the jams on all my wizards before the Staticaster can take effect. We'll play this out. Actually, I still was probably supposed to play Aether Vial. That was greedy of me. All the while, though, this knight is growing. If we can take the knight from him, though, we'll be in a good spot. Is this another knight? He meant to tap green. I'm guessing. What about Shadow Dot on the side? Probably not. But I like this idea of Mimic a lot. We could clear out some of the chaff that I've just kind of... Like, cause some of these cards are sideboard cards. Like, Vendilion Clique was a sideboard card. Venser was main deck, but Sower was sideboard. Like, this was sideboard, this was sideboard. We could try to clear up some space in the sideboard, and then, like, we could Sun Drop it, maybe. And just be like, alright, we're bad against burn anyway, you know? So he's got the combo? We built this deck. My wallpaper is based on this deck, the Nightfall deck. You can't see the whole thing, but Jack made that for us, and it says Nightfall. That's what our background's based on, my desktop background. It used to be the stream background. I guess in a way it still is because it's my desktop. Oh yeah, we're toast here. I'm gonna go ahead and F6 so you guys can see the combo because this is a sweet combo. If you've never seen Retreat, if you've never seen Knight combo, it's sweet. It is very cool. But yeah, I'd love to get some mimics in this thing. I like this idea. It gives us more 2-drops. Seems awesome. Ooh, Loose Love Cave. Loose Love Cave with the sub. Thank you so much, Loose Love. I look forward to seeing what you submit. Welcome back. I look forward to seeing this. It's going to show up for me right here. And I do direct messages with you guys, so if you haven't been checking those and you're one of my subs, please check those. I do chat to you guys if you guys haven't responded yet. Or I haven't responded to you. Anyway. Comboed. We got comboed. This guy's gonna have a 5-0. I'm not even mad. Well deserved. 5-0. Yeah, we checked our opponent's record. He was 4-0 before he fought us. I'm not even mad. Deck is indeed sweet. I think we're not interacting on an axis too, but these are great. This would give us more. I don't think we're going to run more than 4, but what if we put the what if we sideboard the Vendilion Click and the Sower, because those are more specific. You don't always. I mean, not every match is a Vendilion Click match. Not run the Sun Droplets. You know, we're bad against burn anyway. Just whatever. Let them do their worst, and then we get to test out a couple of mimics. Wombo says, I think 3 mimics would be good. We could trim a Curse Catcher. Could trim like a Curse Catcher. Could trim a... I still kind of prefer Sage, but maybe you're right. We're not dead yet. It's actually a really long combo to resolve on Moto. That was one of the reasons I actually stopped playing it. I loved the Night of the Reliquary combo. It's very, very... I mean, I don't blame my opponent for not chatting at all. Yeah, like... I think we could just try 2 to start, but maybe you're right. I mean, maybe that's like... I mean, Curse Catcher's just filler, you know? I mean, at one point I didn't have any 1-drops besides Vials, and I considered being a Chalice of the Void deck for this. Not even kidding. Problem is the Vandal Blasts get weaker. We've brewed this as a Chalice deck before. So you like run 1 main and then you run some more on the side maybe, and then you get to and then you slim on the 1s. The Trinket Mage gets weaker or stronger depending on how you feel about it. Like, no longer do you really want Trinket Mage for these pieces, but we couldn't get away with Vandal Blast, I don't think. Because a lot of the matches we would want Vandal Blast, we'd also want Chalices. But anyway, that's an idea. Makes us better against, I guess, burn. Something we're worried about. It's kind of a little more universal. So you're thinking 3 Metallic Mimic? Maybe it's supposed to be... Hold up. Maybe it's supposed to be... Maybe we're supposed to only have 3 Sages, and we have... and then we slim something here. Something that... Either an Archmage or a Master. Oops. I like 3 Master. Why don't we go back to 2 Archmages? I know I just bought one today, but... I'd rather get the deck build right than justify a purchase I made. Metallic Mimic. This is great. I didn't really think about it. I wouldn't main deck all the Chalices. Maybe 1 or 2. So 3 Metallics. And then... I mean, you could go all in on the Chalice if you really wanted to, but Modern's not the same as Legacy. You can't really get away with that, you know? So either, like... I wouldn't play 4 Chalice in Modern, but maybe 3 or 2. And then we get to run Shattering Spree. For like Affinity, that's a way to get around Chalice, because we'll still want Chalice against Affinity, but maybe we run 2 Shattering Sprees. Replicate gets around it. The shameless plug. The shamelessness. We could make, like, some of these are main deckable. Like, Vendilion Click's main deckable, it's strong enough. And then I guess the other that we were main decking was Sower. Because even some of the combo decks in Modern are creature based. Like, you can Sower and grab somebody's Emrakul. You know? Shameless plugs. This guy's deck's sweet though. I kind of want to see it, don't you? I'm doing this for everybody's benefit, okay? We want to see it. We do. So 3 seems about right. What's up, Dan? Maybe we have room for one more card, but I don't know what it is. I mean, then again, we could go heavier on the Chalice main deck plan. But, I mean, it's going to have... It's certainly going to have decreasing returns. We've also tried things like, you know, 4 Mimic Simo. Just go ahead and play 4. Okay. Alright, so in the future we can try that out. Chalices are going to be a 2-drop. Like, we got a lot of 2-drops now, you realize. And Mimic in hand is not the same as a, you know, Merfolk in hand for the Adepts. The Adepts will become harder again, more difficult, excuse me, to pull off again. Because we've got, how many enablers? If you count the vials, that's 4. You can't count the first Adept, but you could count either mages because they can tutor for a Merfolk. So we got, these are Merfolks as well, which is kind of like why I like to stay high on those. I mean, we got a reasonable amount. Like, these are the things that aren't going to help out our Silver Guild. Like, we got 20 enablers. If you want to count the Aether Mages and the Aether Vials. If you want to count actual Merfolk, it's more like 13 enablers for this thing. But once you count the Aether Mages and the Vials, which we will do from time to time, you have enough enablers for this. What's up, Ike? I wish I looked a little more closely at things and realized that we could be a totally sweet Metallic Mimic deck. Because that also turns on what it does. What Sage of Fables does for us for Glenn. Now here's the real question: should we still be running 3 Archmages because we have so much more of this piece than we have of that piece? Actually, we probably should have the 4th. I'll keep this in the dark. Basic island here. In the dark, I would keep this. It's a pretty flexible hand for us to start on. I think we're going to leave Mutavault. Opponent's had a little bit of a rough time. He's 1-2. I mean, we're 1-1, so it's not like we're all that doing all that much better. The old Magus of the Moon Flooded Strand synergy, right? Don't really want to risk losing the Mutavault just to crack in for 2 here. think I'm supposed to go Steam Vents tapped. I know it's not that exciting, but he looks like he's got a slow start over there anyway. Don't know quite what he is yet. Just we're gonna need to see a couple cards before I can really put him on a particular list. Actually, it may have still been correct to go Strand. I'd like to know a little bit more about his deck, because there's a couple different ways we can go with this, you know? We actually do have Mutavault counter. What I mean by Mutavault counter is if I get this other blue source down, I can Vial in the Prodigy, animate Mutavault, yeah, and then pay blue, sacrifice the Mutavault, because the Mutavault is indeed a wizard. So we do have a counter spell next turn if we need it. Is this another shift player? Titan? No! Dredge. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Dredge doesn't care so much about Magus of the Moon. Oh boy. We're not running the guy that bounces everything anymore either. I used to have a one of, because you could bounce a dredge board with, what's this guy? He's a wizard. What's it called? I'll think of it in a minute. This is gonna be rough. This is gonna be not so good. Either mage. What could we even tutor up that gets us out of this mess? I guess if we had him in the deck, we could. Can you guys think of the guy? He's got where he comes in, you get to sacrifice something. Oh, what is that mechanic? I think it was in the previous list. I mean, I'm not saying we should bring it back per se, because it was pretty limited in its applications. Exploit, thank you. No, he's a wizard. Profaner of the Dead. So he lets you return all threes. Oh no, it's toughness less than. Yeah, he was having a little trouble getting the full value off, and we were running weird things like Sidisi's Faithful. I don't know. That would help us here, maybe, but this is gonna be rough. I don't know exactly what path we need to take. One of the cool things about our deck is while we have a Vial, a lot of our plays we'll do during the opponent's turn. But with Mimic, Profaner's way better. Well, I mean, Profaner would also grow thanks to Sage. A Cathodic Reunion? God, that's so good. I almost want to counter that. It's a little too good. Let me show you the Mutavault trick I was talking about. I think we have to tutor for Master of Waves and go wider. I think that's the only way. I think it's literally the only way. So I can play I could flash the Magus of the Moon in and counter another spell, or we can search up the Master of Waves. I guess I could also... No, we can't Venser yet. Yeah, it's a neat little trick. It's kind of why the two of Mutavault's in here, actually. I mean, it's a wizard, you know? We'd love to Venser this Conflagrate if he ever goes for it. We have to pick our fights. I mean, we're not going to be able to counter everything because we haven't found the pieces to the combo. we'll have to pick our battles, you know, with what we counter. I mean, we turned a land into a counter spell. It's kind of cool, right? Yeah, so he's trying to build up to it, seems. Yeah, I mean, all we may be doing is just searching and putting in Magus here. That would optimize our mana if we don't have to void. If we don't have to void counter. Oh, it looks like he's going for the Conflagrate now. I think the Magus of the Moon is less important than the, but maybe not. I mean, because like we cut him off casting Loams. That's a problem. So there is a world where we're supposed to flash in the. No, we can't. We can't actually make that play because we don't have enough mana to. So the only option to counter this would be flash in the Magus of the Moon. Now, sometimes you're going to need to float the colors first before you put them in. In this case, it doesn't matter so much because we have 2 islands. I mean, it might... Maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe the Magus is what we're supposed to keep him. We turn him off of Life from the Loam. You know? If we give up the Prodigy. And we have Venser to counter the first Conflagrate. What do you guys think? Am I undervaluing the Magus of the Moon here and overvaluing the Prodigy? We have another counter. I mean, I was so sure we were going to sacrifice Magus, but now I'm not so sure. I think cutting him from green actually might be more relevant than keeping up the Prodigy. Wish we had another wizard to give up. Okay. Alright, Wumbo. We'll go with that. How many other spells are we going to counter anyway besides the Conflagrate? Good point. That's a good point. So what are we either maging? What are we vialing? Wish we still had that card that lets us return Venser. We actually had a creature in this thing. It was a blue-blue devotion creature too. It was like Vidalcan. We had a way to bounce the Venser in Modern, but it was creature-based, but it was sweet. It's like Vidalcan Mastermind, I want to say. That's just a fun of, but for things like Venser, just protecting creatures. Looting. I mean, this is value on the Venser, but I feel like we gotta shoot for the Conflagrate, right? Although he gets 2 prized amalgams if he hits something relevant here. I could also just Glen this and save the Venser. You know? Actually, I think I'm supposed to Venser. And then we'll tutor for the correct thing. What if we Venser this, and then we Vidalcan Ether Mage for Master, and then set up a Master kill? He's only at 12. I think we lose this by letting him develop his board. Spencer, we could have a Glen too. Well, right, that might be what I'm searching up. That's true. We don't have infinite time here. We're at 7. We get to put him to 8. Wumbo thinks we should go for Glen. Oh, is this the conflagrate? Okay. Oh, that was the risk. That was indeed the risk. Now he gets his Haunted Dead off, which will return the amalgam. So now we're on the clock. So I think I actually just have to look for Master Waves. Right? I don't think we even have time to bother with. This is not a spell. This is just an ability. Return it. So I think we just have to kind of hope to race now. And it's going to be messy. He's at 12? We're cracking him for... No, we're only hitting for 2 now. This is not going to be even a very powerful Master Waves. I couldn't see myself sowering a prized amalgam. That doesn't seem like a winning line either, but maybe, because we're so low. What is he getting back? He's getting a 2/2 and a 1/1 flyer and 2/3/3s guaranteed next turn. Don't have a second Magus of the Moon. I guess it's just Master Hope to rip another Devotion creature. Sage. Okay. You like the hat? Thanks. Soaring Amalgam actually might win. Was that the winning line? If it was, I missed it. Well, we've got 4 Devotion. But yes, it may have been the winning line. Unfortunately, our pro red here is not going to be relevant. We could rip another Master. Like if we hit another Tutor or another Master, we just win. So we get to go end step Master here. Oh jeez. Yeah, that's probably game. So he just Haunted Deads here. Well, he needs to loam first. Or does he just have another... Does he not see that? He doesn't see it. I mean, we're sitting here, like, so afraid. He needs to have 2 cards to activate Haunted Dead. If he just doesn't see it, we're in the clear. Well, Pro Red's only so good if he just snipes all my tokens, Wumbo. It wasn't his line, just, I thought he dredged back a Loam, didn't he? Loam... I don't know. We have a chance now. Oh wow, Dark Blast. That's a problem. That's a spicer. I am wearing a bow tie tonight, Ike. Ike! I'm gonna play your command real quick, because it's you. Is he gonna combo us, or what? We're getting comboed, or what? I feel like there's so much going on in that emote that it like causes the stream to crash. Yeah, so we got them off anyway. Oh geez, Scourge Devil. Oh boy. I think we're still in trouble. Well, these amalgams come back tapped. That's relevant. Because he's a 10. The amalgams will come back tapped. Which is relevant. Cool thing about that command too is it drops stuff in my jar. One of these days I'm gonna figure out. It's still in the beta phase. The jar, the stream alerts jar that's below. I'm gonna figure out how to get that thing to work for other things. Right now I have to push a button for it to do things. Let's see. But they're all like test alerts. None of them are like actual, bits. There's a way to set it so that follow alerts drop something in the jar. Okay, so those being tapped is relevant. Do we runner, Master of Waves? Another Sage. Okay. Okay, so we crack in. How does he block? We're at 7. Might be correct for me to draw off the Master. What do you guys think? So you crack in with the whole team. He'll block Prized Amalgam on Master of Waves. Narcomoeba here. Narcomoeba here. He's still taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He takes 8. Goes to 2. That can't be the right attack. I guess our attack is just Venser, Sage, and 2 elementals, right? We have to keep some of our team back, or we're screwed. Yeah, what if we attack, like, Venser, Sage, and 2 elementals? The other attack is just attack the elementals, but he blocks and only takes 2. Like, how aggressive can we really get? Because there's also a Scourge Devil happening. So off the Scourge Devil, we're going to take 4 in the air, unless we can force him to block with these Narcos, you know? And Scourge Devil itself hits for 4. Might be one of those situations where I have to all-out attack. Like, what does the all-out attack look like? We have 6 threats. All-out attack, again, was block, block, block. He takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not enough. I mean, the other master we need might seriously be right there. I'll dig for it. There's a chance we hit a tutor or a master itself. Oh, he dredged back the Dark Blast. I didn't even think about that. Oh yeah, we didn't have this anyway. We're sitting here thinking about the math. Yeah, it's game. Yeah, he dredged back the Dark Blast. I wasn't paying attention. Is this Silvergill? Okay. Alright, well, after board, I think we have a chance. So what's interesting about Dredge is they're not really affected by Blood Moon, but they are affected by Blood Moon. It's kind of this weird place. These definitely in a way to find them. Yeah, Cage and Relic and Trinket Mage to more... It's kind of weird. It's like a tutor into a tutor, but bear with me. It's kind of our thing. I mean, if we're going to start testing this deck without Curse Catcher anyway, I want to see how the deck functions without it. Aren't you curious? So that's kind of where we're headed in the next build. So we're almost like a Chalice Bloodfish in the next build. They're over here. Wrong build. Where we're headed with this, with the new guy. Wish we had Trick Bind. This is where we're headed in the future, actually. We're going to try the Metallic Mimics. I want to get a 4th Glen in this thing. Or the 3rd Glen, excuse me, back into this thing. Like, I could see us trimming a Sage, even. To add the 4th Glen again. Because, like, right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enablers, but only 2 Glens. Anyway, back to this. So, I don't think Moon's all that great. Explosives is interesting, but I don't think it's impactful enough. I mean, like, Flyers are neat. Kira gives us Conflag Protection. Maybe that's good. Staticaster lets us kill all those Narcos. That's not as useful, I suppose. Maybe it's better than I think. What do you guys think? Kira? Like, what? Like, I don't really think there's anything that great to bring in besides these 3 pieces. You could take out the Vendilion Click, I suppose. But, like, what are we bringing in, though? You know? Vindilically just gets jumped by an Archimedes. I mean, maybe you do want the Staticaster for that reason. Clear the skies and fly over him is one way we can win this. Go Flyers. And then Staticaster lets us clear the Narcos. Whatever, we'll run it. We should really bring in Staticaster almost any time it has a thing, something that it can kill. Let's look for a better 6. This is barely a better 6. Really shouldn't bottom this, but we're digging for hate. We're not leading fetch because we. Oh, I mean, I guess we still could lead fetch and just not crack it because we want to make sure the card we just bottom doesn't get shuffled to the top yet. Anyway, try to spike something here. Play the adept. That's fine. Okay, now we'll shuffle. I mean, I'm excited about Metallic Mimic. I didn't realize that this card got printed another enabler for the counter combo. Next turn we can Trinket Mage up. Do you get Relic or do you get Graph Diggers? I guess you get Graph Diggers, right? Especially if he has a really good dredge. Okay, we found that Mutavault. You go for Cage, right? I mean, Relic. Yeah, you Trinket Mage and you find Cage. I think it's pretty straightforward. We're all in agreement here, right? It's not even a question that we're gonna go grab Cage, right? I don't know. Like Cage doesn't stop everything. Like Cage is more powerful against like your legacy dredges and your vintage dredges. Well, nah. I'm still gonna go Cage. Yeah, no, this is still gonna be really solid. This is still gonna be really solid. Hope he doesn't have removal for it. I mean, I don't think we're gonna have enough time to wait until we have Glen protection for the Graph Digger. For all we know, he might even have like an Abrupt Decay. It's not typical. Usually, you see Nature's Claims. So unfortunately, he's going to get this Bloodghast and Prize Amalgam off before we get to play the Cage. But I mean, we could maybe Harbinger the Bloodghast, and then unless he has a second Black Source, he doesn't get to use it. Just wants to get that looting value off before we slam this. I mean, he's making it seem like he doesn't have an answer for it if he's, instead of progressing his board, just going straight to trying to answer what we're doing. I mean, this is a pretty big dredge. I mean, if we don't just slam Cage, like we're going to be facing another Bloodghast. That's just a thought. Do I like fish and chips? Actually, I could put the amalgam back in his hand. It's not a bad way to spend the turn. Yeah, good call, Dragon. Don't really want to swing this into the Narco. Oh, Grudge. Should have seen that coming, right? Grudge is so good in their deck because a lot of, I mean, outside of Rest in Peace, it's good against all the other graveyard hate. You know, Rest in Peace and Leyline, it beats pretty much all the other graveyard hate that's relevant. Only asking because my wife made fish and chips? Nice. Doesn't swing the amalgam. Well, I guess he doesn't have to. Rough. I hope you're waiting. Staticaster's a great draw. Maybe we should have just gone for Staticaster. Oh, we haven't had a tutor yet, never mind. This is an awkward spot where we actually don't have... So how relevant are the Glenalundra Archmages? They give us some pretty resilient blocks. Or we can just draw with the Silver Go, but that taps us out. Opponent just has it all. Yeah. You know, that's the issue with the hate. That's one of the reasons why we tried to fight Dredge originally with like Profaner and Bridge. Snaring Bridge and Profaner. Just reset everything they were doing. Yeah, I mean, that might just be better than trying to use Graveyard Hate. And a lot of the Graveyard decks in the format, the way that they beat you as creatures anyways, they either beat you with like one or two really big creatures, like your Grishlebrand's, or they beat you by going wide with a bunch of small creatures. So, Profaner, good against the small creature plan, or at least buys you time. And then Sower, of course, is how you get to mess around. Or I guess, well, Grizzlebrand's black. Anyway. I don't think the Glens do enough. I think I'm just trying to draw to our outs here. So I think I am just going to cast this with the additional. Feels bad, man, but let's do it. Probably Profaner and then some Mimics. Well, you don't see all that much Dredge. There's Sage. This would have been good if we saw it sooner because we'd have 3/3s instead of 2/2s. I mean, that's another big draw to something like Metallic. Is if we get to slam this guy early, he does come onto the table earlier than Sage will. That's very true. I'd like for this thing to curve, though. No good attacks. That's a losing position. It's called the losing position. Yeah, this would be a different game, you're right, if we had started off with a Mimic. This just needs to get into our deck. What's the price on this guy? It's a ticket. I'd almost just invest in that card. It seems sweet. Basel says I think we should have gone for Relic over Cage. Yeah. I agree with you. I'm kind of regretting my decision because we at least could have popped Relic. and gotten something out of it. It's okay, it's a good lesson to learn. Learn it now instead of later. Oh, yeah, we're just done. Whew. We're moving on to another game, guys. Rough. Okay. But yeah, I like those changes. Gosh, we started off with a win, and now we're just not getting there. But yeah, I think some changes are definitely in order. Like, I could definitely see us being a Chalice deck. I could see us running Mimics. That's just the beginning. Nintendo says, how do I feel about decks nowadays built for whatever infinite combo? What's that in reference to? Love that they do lyrics, by the way. I wasn't really sold on Amazon Music till I gave it a shot. I've really liked having the lyrics to whatever song's playing. Now we got an opponent. Let's try to win the next two. Seems good. Just run bridge again. Yeah, we could go back to bridge. We had all sorts of ways to abuse it. We really did. We did. We could like shrink our guys before they attack. We had all sorts of fun ways to abuse that. In the dark, I really shouldn't keep this. I have no idea what he's on. But I'll keep it. It's not a great hand for Void Mage. We'll have to draw another blue source. Did I tell you that I built Jeskai Ascendancy? Nice. And then they banned Probe. I'm so sorry, Loose Love. Is it still working okay? Can't be the Michael Majors. I actually met him in person not too long ago. Yeah, could be Michael. Could be Mike. We've got Cavern, that's our red source for Magus of the Moon. This is a Moon matchup. We could just get a basic here. So he'll take probably Prodigy. I could also see him taking the Vendilion Click. I don't think it's Mike, but maybe. It disappoints me though that they don't have a radio station for Coheed. He's on Esper. Oh, he's on Wombo Combo Us. These are going to be really good then. Why didn't he take this? Why did he take the click instead? Huh. So how soon do you want to hold up the counter? Counters like this are actually really stupid good against things like Ad Nauseam. Because it's an on-board counterspell. It's not one that... It's not like they can, like, silence us and then get us, you know, or... Well, not silence. Like, they can't fight us with Pact of Negation. Well, I guess in the case of, like, Cheerios, but this is really good in the matchup. As long as I don't do something stupid like tap out at the wrong moment. Oh, we don't have blue-blue counter anyway because I played the Mutavault, so might as well play the second... We'll cast it up since the jig's up. He already knows we had double Prodigy. So next turn we definitely play Island, and actually I think we just hold on counters. I don't really like tapping out for Master of Waves when he's got 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, he's definitely ad nauseum. When he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... or more mana potential. The thing about ad nauseum that's scary is because it's a Simian Spirit Guide deck, you don't always know where they're at in their combo sequence. You know, they might jump ahead a whole turn thanks to a Simian that's hiding out in their hand. Especially if they're on the 4 of, because you only need 3 Simians to cast the Lightning Storm. So we might just want to beat him down with our 2/2s and just hang on. Well, we can either mage up other pieces, but we definitely want blue-blue. So I think what the plan actually is blue-blue, animate Vault, hit him for 6, hit him for 6. At least then he can't use a fetch. There's only one card we really need to counter, and the name of that card is Ad Nauseam. Push? Okay. Now, I could have traded the Mutavault for the push, and that may have been the correct play. But we'll see. Ooh, he's got Brain. Rough. Okay. We've considered Brain in decks like this. I mean, I can get this second Prodigy onto the table without giving up blue-blue counter. That might be better. Brain, what is it for? Is this another Fatal Push? I will fight this time. Well, no, this is gonna end poorly for us. Because he's probably gonna Beck Brain. Yeah, we're probably about to face a bunch of birds. I hate to say it. He's either breaking or entering, or he's about to Beck call us. Or he's going to use expertise to do it. Yep. He could have casted off the Brain as well. It is so much value. Gosh, we're usually the one playing this nonsense. It's wonderful. It's funny to see somebody else doing it. I guess it's become more popularized now that the expertise are a thing. Before, is this the second one? Should be game then. Yeah, we can't come back from that. But it's kind of funny to see it from the other perspective and just remember how powerful the Brain decks are. We've known it's powerful for a long time on this stream because I played it for weeks when Brain first came out. Alright, so how do we pick it apart? Blasts, maybe? Moons? Kira, because he's got a lot of removal. And maybe Spell Skates. He didn't seem to be a Snapcaster, certainly put him on it. Things we don't need, Harbinger. Shouldn't need Harbinger. I'd even cut Sower. And it's going to be a long grind. Why don't we cut 2 Curse Catchers for more impactful cards? Staticaster could catch us up, though, if he does manage to stick one of those. The issue is the card advantage that he gets off of it. I'm worried to try that. Yeah, we'll run the Staticaster. The issue, though, is it's not going to stop the card draw, you know? Ooh. Greedy, but I want to try it. Might actually be correct. We're more likely to hit more blue mana to turn on this Blood Moon. But that's just an idea. Might be correct. We're more likely to hit just plain islands. Because we do want to be able to moon. the basics. Shoot. Basic. Sweet. Basics, Batman. Ooh, Jace? Jace for Grishelbrand? I mean, maybe he's got breaking and entering in this thing, too. Brain? Is this where we want to spend our Prodigy? No, we want to spend it on the spell that he gets off of it. I think we're getting pathed? Oh, we're getting... That was Blood Moon, doesn't matter anymore. We're getting pushed? Okay. Rough. Gosh, we had such a great start. Like, we had a fantastic finish against Titan, but these other games have not really been going our way. Sorry to say. Triple Vial draw is not great either. Hell, I mean, this is a matchup where the Chalice would have been relevant. Nah, we're gonna get Jaced. I like what I see, though. I mean, Jace's make me think that he's on a Goryo plan as well. Or not necessarily even Goryo, but, certainly... Let's not give up hope. He's waiting for me to put in this Sage, though, before he becks. That's what I would do. Nope, didn't have it. Let's not give up all hope, but it sucks that he's been able to maneuver around the moon. Might be correct for me to let this Sage die, because he has Yeheni's expertise in the deck, which would clear my board. Might be correct for me to just let this guy die, and then we have at least Curse Catcher to tax his sweeper. How's it going, returning? Remind me to consider taking the... Oh, well, no, we don't have Sage of Fables anymore. If I wanted to take the counter off the Curse Catcher, that moment has passed. Because she is dead. Push. Okay. Well, he could have just Jace flashback push even. Yeah, I mean, we're having trouble. Oh, is he just gonna flashback kill this too? Rough. Okay. Pay for it. Oh, he didn't pay for it? Aw. I mean, we can do all the things, but it's not going to matter if we just get comboed. Might be correct to do this now. Well, I stepped out. I mean, Esper's not where we want to be with Masters. Like, against, like, your Grixis and your Juns, this guy's nigh unkillable, but against Esper control, everything kills this guy. Rough. So all the vials are set to what I'd like them to be for now. So we'll just do some nose and some always yield. Vial management is important. We got some spice. Appreciate the host, Romario. I just noticed. Oh, he's got catch and release in this thing too? Sweet. Yeah, we can't handle that. What counter? That is sweet. That's something we considered with Brain at one point. There's a cavern. Okay. Don't really need that. Yeah, not so much returning Dawn. Oh, trust me, he does have shocks. We saw them game one. Did we not? So he's going to start scrying on these, I imagine. No? Could just have a Yehenes. Even without the payoff spell, he just kills our board. Yeah, there's a Watery Grave. See? I think he just happened to get lucky and hit a lot of the, you know, speaking of which. Do you also have the payoff card to go with it? Oh, yeah, it's over. Not even Staticaster gets back into this because he's drawn 4. Between that and the scries off the Brain in a jar, we won't win this. But it's a good lesson in remembering why we love this engine so much. You can have my Blood Moon, sir. You can have it. Maybe it was a greedy keep on my part. Why aren't we the ones doing the Brain? We did the other night. We had a really good run, deep run with, well, it was called Grizzle Brains, Returning Dawn. We'll play one more and just finish it out. And I think this is the direction we're going in the future. Somebody suggested Mimic. Several people suggested Mimic. I wish I'd thought of it myself. This seems super sweet. It's another enabler for the Glendalundra. Speaking of which, let me get the third one. Yeah, so like a third one. Yeah, it doesn't curve, but whatever. I mean, some games you know, morph this guy even, so hey. Yeah, at one point we had a moment, right, Skyborg? We had enough mana to draw 1 card on the Curse Catcher. There was, well, we're not necessarily going to run Curse Catcher anymore, but yeah, there was a moment, Skyborg, you're right, where we could have used, what is it, Sage of Fables? There was a moment. You only get to draw one card, and you do have to pay 2 mana to do it, Skyborg, but I'm with you. We would have been one card deeper, and maybe that was another Master Waves. We don't know. It might have been. Oh, that's what it did. Alright, we got an opponent. Now, this is actually a hand. These are the hands that I love to see. Keep. No, we didn't see too many of hands like this tonight, did we? No, don't take my vial. No, no. Woo, he didn't have it. Yeah. I mean, just like fish, we have some of the same weaknesses. We'll have to try our best to mitigate them. I might shock here to play the Adept next turn, reveal maybe Harbinger. I wouldn't show Sage. Yeah, this excites me. He's playing Grixis. Grixis controls. What sucks is we might be losing this vial. Is there a line where I can try to protect us from the Kolaghan's command? I don't think so, since he was on the play. I mean the play is not play the Adept. That's the way you don't get 2-for-1 with the The way to not get 2-for-1 with the Kolaghan's command here is to be patient. But even then, we probably still get 2-for-1 at some point. Is it 14? Is Taziger? Oh, Brutality? I don't care. Sure. Yeah, we're toast here. I can't stop it. I can't stop it with the Curse Catcher. Those just seem like the weakest card, and then like the newer build we're talking about, I think that's fine in Merfolk because it's trying to be like tight and it's trying to go Curse Catcher into Lord. And yes, we will have those draws sometimes, but it's not the same, you know. I think we'll benefit from changing things up. I think this build may actually be more promising. We'll see. So we'll see if he's hybridized and see if he's not running Brain and Beck and if he's just... Oh, he's just refilling. He's not even wombo comboing us all this turn. So he's setting up. Does that mean we have a little bit of time? It might mean we have a little bit of time. Let's not give up. We should read the chat though, so he knew that I'm probably planning to scoop because he's still. What is he? He was 2-2. We're 1-3, so we don't. I don't think we get anything for. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna shuffle. Does Moon save us? Well, we didn't draw land, so I guess not. Also, we don't have Void Mage Prodigy. Yeah, we're just dead. Yeah, we don't have enough going on. Outside of Pauper, not really, Daibo. Does he just have Stone Cold Nothing? What? He really should read my chat. I'll just give it to him if he starts getting hopeless over there. I don't usually deny prize. Because this might be the nail in the coffin, this Grafdigger's Cage. Oh, that's a punt, I didn't even realize. But I do want to play a game 3 for testing. Well, let's see if you can handle it. What version of Tron do you think is better right now in the meta? Splash White. Green White Tron, I would say, but people, they're not playing it. Ooh. That'll do. That'll play. Oh, I shouldn't have taken anything there, actually. So we sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Block with a Vendilion Click. We're left with 0 permanents. That's rough. Rough. Yeah, so it looks like he's not on the brain variant like we were. Oh, speaking of Venser. It's good to see you guys. Welcome back to the show. Oh boy. So what's more likely? Opponent kills us or we find a land? It's the first one, if you're wondering. If you were curious. It's the first one. I have questions about what's happening. You keep whiffing on these, man. I don't run instants or sorceries in this deck, really. Oh, he just wanted to discard his Grizzlebrand. Where are my lands? We had lands. we got Emmercold. We done got Emmercool annihilated, and then the only way for us to live was to block with a Vendilion Click. We're just playing for fun, though. Opponents, I'm excited, though, about the changes we've thought of today. Wouldn't have done it without you guys. I didn't even think about Metallic Mimic as being a cheaper, mana-wise Sage. I still think we should have 2 Sages, though. Still think I want Sage. I mean, if we can slim on some of the stuff in the sideboard, I could move either Venser or Sower to the sideboard, and then that frees up some more space. I mean, Sower's the more specific card, Venser's the more flexible one. Here comes a Grizzlebrand. We are going to get a game 3 against this guy, but it's just going to be for funsies. Yeah, we know how this would play. I wish we could see the game 3. I actually gonna have to cut the stream a little short tonight. Sorry, dudes. But I mean, opponents 2-2. We ended up being 1-3. We had a great start. We won our round 1, but then kind of lost everything else. And round 1 was like a nice archetype to go up against. But I'm going to send you guys to another streamer. Please give your attention to them. It's well deserved. Why not try Blue Martyr? We've tested it, Fizzum. We're thinking in the future we're going to turn it into a chalice deck as well, because the options in the deck are the vials, and then everything else, most of everything else doesn't actually get hit by that. Oh, Vintage Super League is on tonight. That's sweet. But I'm going to host this guy. It's playing... Ooh, actually, no, we're going to do Gift Storm. I almost hosted the Fairies list, but there's a Card Horror streamer on. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Yeah, this is kind of where we're thinking of going. It needs one more card, though. I think I'd like one more Sage, and then I'd like to cut one card from the sideboard. Maybe the third Blood Moon effect. Or the fourth Chalice effect, maybe? Okay, something like that. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the next show.